Hello, Starseeds, all of you out there. I hope you're doing amazingly well and keeping your head together and staying grounded as much as we can in whatever's going on out there. A little bit of chaos, right? So this is a special reading for you. This is a reading just to check in and give you some love, guidance, and support. There is a very specific sort of energy that's going on with Starseeds. If you've clicked on this message, there is a very huge probability that you are a starseed, and this will resonate with you. So as you know, starseeds, light workers, have come to this earth in order to be an assistant or to assist in the change of the earth, and this is exactly what we're doing. We're going through a cleansing period right now. A lot of it seems very external and internal for the most part, but external in the world globally, and it's showing up as chaos and a little bit of panic. Definitely some fear out there. But this is also a cleansing of Mother Nature coming in. We had to have this virus come in and do whatever it is that it was supposed to do, because we had to be taught connection through fear and through the 3D realm, not through the 5D realm. This is a new way to connect. And also there are so many things that were leading up to this in the crumbling of certain aspects of our society and capitalism that just wasn't working. This is sort of the final remnants of all of that happening. So I know it seems for a lot of people very overwhelming, and of course that is, but this is a chance for Mother Nature to heal and for us to connect in a brand new way. And for starseeds, it's very important too, because there's been a lot of doubt with starseeds. There's been a lot of pain throughout the life, I would say, being in a human body and also watching what humans do to each other. It's, it's a very painful process. And a lot of starseeds have had a really hard time with connecting to sort of the human experience. We're now in a unique position where we're being able to see the beauty of humans coming together in a brand new way. There is a new level of compassion that's coming in, that's connecting and uplifting starseeds all over the globe, which is a beautiful thing, and activating them. So we can totally see what it is that we've come here to do in a brand new way. So there's a new sort of level of heightened sort of awareness of the beauty of why we're here, and a new connectedness on our terms, and for what it is that we're supposed to do. And there's a new level of love and compassion that's coming in, and a final click of the understanding of what it is that we're here to do. So for starseeds that are here and are resonating, there's a really good chance that you've recently been activated in a really, I would say, kind of an extreme way. We're always activated, and we activate in very specific ways. Everybody activates differently at different times, and this is something that we decided before we incarnated into a human body, how and when we would activate. But this on a global level, we've activated on a brand new level, and most of us have actually come to a new level of understanding, and we understand this pandemic, and we understand the coronavirus doing what it is that it's doing in a brand new way. We're looking through the illusion and figuring out what the greater good is, and we're understanding the pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together, and we're here as one to connect and to be a source of freedom and to hold space for others. And a lot of us have just connected and activated into our profound sense of why it is that we're here. Now, we've always had a profound sense of why we're here, but there's not always been 100% connection to it, or there's been a little bit of a cloud of, am I doing the right thing? Or again, the sort of the dismay of, why am I here? I don't connect to this. I'm supposed to protect it and help and hold space. I don't understand. But there's been a new level of understanding for starseeds with this activation, of really understanding the peace that could potentially come, that is shining its light, that really is transforming in this lifetime before our very eyes. Yes, right now we're in the midst of the chaos, totally understandable, but we're actually moving towards a purpose here, and this beautiful understanding of how we can actually create Aquarius on Earth is actually coming to fruition, and we're starting to see it. And for those starseeds who have been activated recently, there's a new level of awareness that's come in. So this reading is for you, just to confirm, to support, to send love, to show appreciation, just to get you some specific reading and help, and like I said, support for whatever it is that you need right now in this very specific time, in the midst of the chaos and the sort of the illusionary chaos of this coronavirus going on. So we have a few different decks here. I'm going to put these aside for now, and get you some messages. So this is for the Starseed collective. These messages are for you. So yes, this is a general reading, but because we've come here as a collective, they should all resonate on some level. At least that's what we hope. So today there are many different origins, but today I'm actually checking in with the Palladians, and that's who we are channeling today. So whether you resonate with the Palladian message or Lyrian or others, it really doesn't matter at this point. There is a good chance that there's a crossover between all of them, and you have incarnated in many different forms. But we are going to be checking in with the Palladians today. So let's get you some messages, Starseeds. So the first one is Star Family. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. So yeah, I think for the first time, and at least I've been feeling it, there's a sense of the collective that has really been sort of uploaded and transmitted, that I've never to this level ever experienced before. So this is just, if you're feeling that, it is for real. Don't doubt yourself. Inner Earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. My goodness, could we not ask for better cards? So we are being asked at this point in time, which is a pivotal point in time. This is a very important point in time on Earth. Whatever happens here on Earth too will also affect other star systems. So this is not small work that we decided to come down and do. We're being asked to concentrate on the light. Again, not necessarily seek solutions. That's not up to us to do. We're asked to just hold the light and stay in the knowing and trust. Trust the connection that you feel. Trust the downloads that you feel. Look through the illusion to what this actually is. Chaos always means something else. Most of us who have come down here understand the idea of chaos magic or alchemy, working chaos and bringing it back into love. And in many different ways, Starseeds, you have done this throughout your life, whether you've realized it or whether you've not realized it, whether you've realized it and you integrate it into your teachings here on Earth, or whether you don't realize it. You're all alchemists. We can take this energy of chaos and we can turn it through understanding the illusion of it, or what needs to come. The chaos is on the 3D level. The 5D level is also transpiring now. We turn that alchemy into love. Now, before, the essence of bringing the new earth in seemed a little bit crazy with everything that was going on, and the selfishness and the capitalism and all the things that were going on, kids locked up from their parents at the border, so many things, so many people were lacking compassion. We wondered if this was going to happen. It was a really hard time, I feel, for Starseeds. Now we can actually see this new earth. We can grasp it. We can understand it. The chaos is just the beginning of where we will be. We're being asked to hold the light, asked to hold the understanding of where we will be. We do not need to hold on to the illusion of the chaos. We can let that go, and we can hold the light again without trying to figure out the ending. We just literally step into your peace, know that it's going to be okay. Several different timelines are going on right now. They will play out the way that they're supposed to. It is not up to us to figure out the timeline. It's not up to us to figure out how this will end. We came here in total trust as part of a collective. We're now here to embark on that real mission. I feel like everything that we have been born to do, everything that we've been doing our whole lives have led up to this one moment, right? It's kind of like this beautiful movie, but we know that this will end well. So we're being asked to hold the faith, to see through the illusion of chaos where we can, hold that chaos, transform it into love for others. We're also told to the one message that I'm getting very clearly is to hold space for other starseeds too. For those of you who know who you are, but maybe don't get out there a lot, there's so many platforms to get out there, to use your voice, to connect together. That's the way, the using your voice, even if, you know, only if you do a YouTube video and, like, you know, 14 people see that video, you know, that's 14 people who will share it to other people. And these videos go to other star seeds to strengthen the collective. So you're being asked to step into your voice of power, to step in as, to hold the light for others, to soothe others, to bring your energy in and tell everybody that will be okay, because you know that it will. We will not only survive this, we will be thriving afterwards. But yes, it can be a very difficult process while everything is crumbling away. There is also a reminder, a profound message that we've been leading up to this point in history and society for a while. We knew this had to happen. We knew the earth was failing, was not doing well. You know, we had Greta Thunberg, I think that's her name, out there every day telling everybody there wasn't enough being done. There had to be something on a global level that was extreme to pull us back, to give us a chance. We had to be shown through fear, because that's the only way the majority of people would have connected to this message. Sometimes we have to connect through fear, to blast through it, to connect and find our compassion. This was the only way we could move forward. It seems extreme, but it's just the way that we had to go through this cleansing. Just for humanity had to learn how to be human again, or to connect with the humanity part of being human. We had done so much bad stuff. I mean, honestly, humans have done horrific things to animals. We've got animal farming. We have horrific ways that we treat each other on many different levels. And, you know, the violence and the wars, there had to be something huge here to show the illusion of, like, when it comes down, we're all connected. And this is what this virus is doing. So hold space. We will absolutely survive this. There are new solutions. There are new beginnings. And that's why we're here. We're here to hold space for that. And in order to feel like we can do this with strength, again, alchemy, taking that chaos, turning it into love, transforming it, is to be out there and connect with your soul family in every way that you can and find that support. So you realize that you're not on your own. Now, there will be moments where there will be doubts. There will be moments when you get overwhelmed with the feeling of that fear, because most of us are empaths. So you're going to, you know, that energy from the external is going to come in. And if it does, go right back into that heart center and remember the alchemy. Come back to your purpose. Your purpose is not to live here in fear, but to shine the light and hold space for others to move through to this new world that we're creating. So let's get one more from this deck, the Starseed deck, Oracle deck, which I absolutely love. Earth pulsing, the pulse of mother, slow down, time in nature. Yes, nature is returning. We already have fish and dolphins in the canals in Venice. Holding space for Mother Earth as she cleanses. So much has been done in even 4 days of most of the world being on lockdown. Can you imagine what happens if we stay this way for 2 months? There is a chance that there is a way that we can reverse the damage that we have done. And when we come out of this, we will not return to the way that we were before. Things are shifting. Hold that space. Remind yourself. I know that we're supposed to be in somewhat of a lockdown and isolation, but you can still get out in nature. You can still listen to the birds in the morning and remind yourself that the beauty of this earth, which is why we're here, to protect it and to move forward with the understanding of the pure potential and light that humans have. You know, for a very long time, we've been stuck in a sort of a loop in humanity, or the way in which humans have been living on this earth. Light is now coming in and we are shining in a brand new way. There is a chance to shift that frequency. and this last blast of intense fear and chaos before we move into this new frequency. That's just what needs to happen, so we can keep our essence, we can keep our love, we can keep our thoughts and our processes and our heart center on the new frequency that's coming in. And again, alchemy, remind people that this is a journey. This is not the ending. This is just the beginning. It is the ending for frailing and failing systems like capitalism that just wasn't working anyway. We won't be able to return to this after that, not in the way that we were before. Prisons are already returning people to their freedom, people that don't deserve to be there for this. We are definitely figuring out factory farming and how we treat animals and how we treat ourselves. We're starting to realize the real profound understanding of like sentient beings. We're not above animals. We're not above anyone, regardless of color, creed, or gender, or any other way that people identify themselves, which honestly I feel is also going out. This understanding of labeling. I personally never understood it, and I don't think labeling is really going to be there in the next 50 years. But let's see what we have here. I'm going to carry on with these messages. Wake up call. Well, we've already gotten that, right? We've had our wake up call. We had a lot of activists out there on the front lines, and not a lot of people were paying attention, but not the people that could have done something. So Mother Nature stepped in and said, you know what? Let's do it my way. She's a beautiful master. She knows what she's doing. So unfoldment, the lotus flower. Yes, remember the lotus flower grows from mud. So right now we are in the icky part of this, and that is totally understandable that everybody is a little bit frightened. But from the mud we have this beautiful lotus flower, and we did need to be in the mud first, or we were already in the mud. We needed to understand what that mud felt like, and that's really what we're getting. And I don't mean to say this to be mean, but, we're just getting a little bit of our own medicine about what we've done to the earth, what we've done to the rainforest, what we've done to these beautiful animals. Now that we're getting it ourselves, we don't like it, do we? But we'll sit there and be okay with factory farming and be okay with this, that, and the other. This is our wake up call. This is what we've done to other species. This is what we've done to ourselves. Now, Mother Nature is doing it to us, and we're like, all right, let's stick together. We don't like this. Let's move through this. So it was time. It was time. And we were ready. If we weren't ready to do this, it wouldn't have happened. So this is a beautiful time. And we are holding space for that. Yes, vulnerability. The other thing that is happening too is that the way in which control happens also is that people aren't encouraged to have their emotions, or if they are, they're told that they're weak. This has been happening in our society for a really, really long time, and it really happens with men, and that also very true. And the other thing that has happened with genders, with women too, is that when they are emotional, they're being, the message is not to trust that. They're overreacting, right? The one thing that's coming out of this Starseeds, and we're bringing this in too, is this understanding that emotionality is brilliant. It's beautiful. It tells you who you are. It connects you to your spiritual understanding of self, an aspect of self that can never be controlled. And we're really coming back to our vulnerabilities. We're expressing ourselves. We're telling people we're fearful, where people are listening. People are coming together and saying, I'm fearful too. What can we do? And it's a really beautiful aspect of human life, again, that cannot be controlled. That vulnerability, standing in that vulnerable space and not being afraid, is truly gorgeous, because for everyone that does that, that's 15 other people going through the same thing. And the one thing that system and societies has told us is that if you have these emotions, or if you feel this way, if you're vulnerable, there's shame, there's weakness around it. That's all dissipating. And that's something that I think the Starseeds are really holding space for, and really being the buffer of that. And I think that's really a beautiful thing, as we see people sort of like helping each other in a profound way that, we all knew that we were capable of, but it just didn't come about yet. So hold on to that emotionality. Let that emotionality in. Let it flood your system. You know that it's going to integrate. It's going to be fine. It's going to connect you to your true self. So Starseeds out there, you can hold space for people who are being vulnerable. You can be vulnerable. We can connect through vulnerability in a brand new way. And once we embrace this new way of being, again, this is a way that cannot be controlled. Not being shamed for being vulnerable or emotional. And I just think that's an absolutely gorgeous thing. And this is happening on a very profound and global level. And people like really standing and holding space for people who are being vulnerable, and people who are physically vulnerable too. They can't get to the store. They can't do this. I've had so many people in and around me, and where we can give help. Let me take you, in my car. Let me do this. What can I do for you? Like holding out space for people who are physically vulnerable. It's not just emotionally vulnerable. We're calling in our humanity in a way that's never happened before at a global level. And it's just a profound way. I truly believe we're going to keep this up. We have to. We will. Okay, the cow, nourishment, abundance, asking, receiving. Again, the other side of vulnerability is asking for help and expecting to get it. No shame around it. Not trying to do this on your own. We are interconnected. We are globally connected. My energy affects yours. Your energy affects mine. Understanding that at a very primal, preliminary, and profound level here. So, not being afraid to ask for help, not trying to do things on your own. These are the messages that are coming into. These are specific messages for Starseeds also. If you are trying to do things on your own, if you are trying to hold space just for yourself, now I totally understand hunkering down and getting things done in every household. Things need to be done. There's been a loss of income here and there. There's been people who have had to deal with children being home. There's so many different variants of how this is affecting people. Of course, practically we need to take care of our own and see where we are. But also it's just a reminder that we're all in this together. If you need help, I know that we're all supposed to be social distancing, but there's also help online. Again, use your voice, ask for help, be out there, connect with other Starseeds. And, if you're having a moment of doubt, remember, we're all here, part of a collective. We can hold you up. And, when you're feeling a little down or you're feeling a little overwhelmed, we're there to hold the light and to remind you that this outcome is inevitable and it's going to be brilliant. So this is not a time to try and do anything on your own. Just a reminder, this one's calling to me here. Joy, yes. Come back into that lighter feeling. I got the hawk, omens and messages. These are beautiful cards here. So for a lot of you Starseeds here, there's been a huge activation recently of coming right in to the understanding of what this coronavirus is actually doing. Seeing through the illusion, seeing through the matrix. So keep that joy, keep that understanding. It opens you up to the messages and the omens of the perspective of what this is, being able to look down on it like a hawk from a different perspective, right? Instead of looking at it from within the eye of the storm and getting caught up in sort of the chaos and the energy of that. Now, it's totally understand that people are panicking and, nobody really, there are some people that love the idea of the unknown, but even when we go into the unknown, sometimes there's an understanding that we can come out of it when we want. So there's an essence of control there, right? This is brand new territory for all of us. So of course there's going to be a little chaos. Of course people are going to be feeling overwhelmed, but we're here to, and this is not a small thing. We have enough courage. We have the perspective now. We've just clicked into this understanding of holding the light and the space and holding the light and the space in the way that gives perspective to other people. So instead of them seeing it through the middle of the storm or the eye of the storm, give them a little love, light, and perspective and that joy, so they can higher their frequency and be able to see the grand old perspective of what we're getting out of this, and stay in that joy and stay in that hope. Again, I want to be very clear and careful here. This is not about trying to predict how this is going to end up. It's all going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. In the long run, it's all going to be fine. I'm not saying that we won't be affected by it, and I'm not saying that we haven't been affected by it, and we're holding space for those who are affected by it. Absolutely. We will not come out of this unscathed. It's impossible for us to come out of this unscathed. but we will come out of this with a bright new beginning. So it's about keeping that perspective. Several timelines again are going on at the same time. It's not about predicting how this will end specifically and when it will end specifically. It's about surrendering into the process and holding that light that no matter what timeline wins out, it's all going to be fine. I mean, fine in a way that we will be at our new beginning. At our new beginning in our new world. And whereas, 6 months ago, that might have seemed like the ending of a sci-fi movie, it isn't anymore. We're being shown that the impossible is inevitable, and we're holding space for that. And I think the sense of connection here, especially with Starseeds, is sort of at a really profound level. We very often do this work alone, and we connect with another star scene. We absolutely feel it, and there's a little activation there, and we've been activating our whole lives. But I feel as though there's been a profound activation with knowing exactly what it is that we're doing. So we're the sort of light soldiers that are sort of moving in and kind of, holding hands around the earth. Again, it sounds like one of those, songs that you used to sing when you were, left over from the 60s or 70s. But this is actually happening now. So let's see. Let's do some tarot. So yeah, we've got the Eight of Swords reversed. These are beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. This one's calling to me too. Page of Wands coming into this. Absolutely. Hold ground. The page is new energy, but they have that, they're not the princess, or they're at particularly the lower spectrum, coming into that understanding of wisdom. But what I love about the page is they come in with this enthusiasm, this brand new beginning, this childlike kind of like sense of autonomy around the wisdom that they hold. So it's kind of beautiful that we're not coming in as... Yeah, and this is Seven of Cups reversed. We're not coming in as kings and queens. We're coming in, to hold space for people on the same level. We're coming in with this enthusiasm. Look at this. This is going to be great. We're not coming in with like this old age knowledge of the sage, of the, the old way of seeing sort of starseeds I see, we're coming in as part of the foot soldiers of coming in and doing the work, and people to be seen as helping others integrate as all in one, not something as like, oh, they're weird, they're aliens. So I really do love that sort of Page of Wands energy. It's this real enthusiasm. Again, it's this childlike sense of we've got this, but on the same level as everybody. Not this idea that, something that you have to not necessarily look up to, but strive to be. We're now in this energy, there's always one step behind with the starseeds. There's this inner knowledge of knowing that you're a starseed, but never quite feeling as though you're doing enough or stepping into that energy and power the way in which you possibly could. But now we're stepping into it, and we're seeing that power is all about the beauty and the fool energy, and which is not quite the page energy because it has that wisdom, but it's this energy of moving in with this childlike sort of infectious kind of laughter and beauty, and keeping the frequency high, and the level of connection that you can have with other people too. The Eight of Swords, the old ways are dead. They're gone. They're over. The old ways of doing things too. We have the idea of striving too, the idea of, seeing the old, not doing enough is over. The idea of trying to strive to reach new heights, or to see when the next activation is coming in, or what I'm supposed to do next. All of that is pretty much over now too. It's really about just being, and being in your own body, understanding the human, but the humanity aspect of human, not striving anymore, but thriving, holding space for others, and being there in the light in a brand new way. I feel as though the other message that I'm getting is that a lot of starseeds has seen, it's not been easy. I know it's not been easy for you in a way, because it's a lot of you have felt like the world has been on your shoulders, and a lot of you again have felt like, why am I even here to sort of to hold space for others who are not holding space for me, excuse me, and my light, and just sort of wondering if there was ever enough that you can do. All of that is over now. This new activation is really showing you the possibility of Earth and what we're capable of. And this is what you signed up for, to be able to see the beauty and the humanity in humans. And up to this level, we've never been able to see it before. So this is a brand new activation of self and autonomy here, which ironically has nothing to do with the individual. It's a connectedness that we can now feel and work from as a platform of beauty that's just sort of been achieved for us through what we're going through. So the balance here, let's see, and the transformation again, Starseeds, you're being asked to move past the old way of seeing things. The way in which you may have try to see things is that you're taking everything on your own shoulders. Everything's on you, remembering that you came here to do a part of the collective, really understanding that you're on one piece of the puzzle, part of the collective. Now that all the puzzles are coming together and the jigsaw's done, now you can see the transformation and the beauty of, again, why we decided to come down, why we chose to come down here. This is a new level of connectiveness and a new level of understanding for Starseeds in this lifetime. So yeah, there's a new integration into the world, and there's a new sort of, for those of you who have been activated recently, you may have a new sort of set of sort of preliminary preliminary and specific sort of ideals of things that you are supposed to do. Everybody has their own specific way to do things. Yeah, so this is like all old stuff. The idea of not being able to step into the power that, that you felt as though you needed to, but you were always one step behind. The idea that, what we were doing on this earth, being able to do this with the transformation and the balance, I feel as though also you held yourself in high criticism, self-criticism, Starseed. So, you're being asked to just sit in that space and let all of this go and really allow this new frequency of heart to connect with you in a brand new way. The way in which you worked before is no longer going to serve you. Yeah, it's all over. There's no way. The temptation reversed. There's no way any of your old ways of doing things for the collective, but working from the perspective of one soul, is going to work anymore. This is brand new for all of us. This is uncharted territory for all of us. And for many ways, like I said before, just to can't even say this word because there's so many things going through my mind. Just to reiterate, we sense that this is what we were supposed to do. We sense this was our mission, but, actually being systematically activated in the mission and seeing it actually unfolding is two different things, right? We were working on the human level. We came here to be human, obviously, but we were working on the human level to heal in the shadow self and doing all sorts of things on the human level. The way in which we've been activated very recently, and if this is resonating with you and you're still with me so far on this message, then you probably are. Exactly. I'm sure you're exactly where you need to be. In fact, I'm positive about it. You're not working from the human level anymore. You're working from all of your chakras activating. You're working from the light being way of being now. So the human ways and the practical ways aren't going to work anymore. We're just going to, these two are speaking to me. And then, yeah. So, the way of holding space for the world, the way of holding space for humanity is not being done from the human level anymore. We've already established that we're human. Obviously, we're here for the human level, but that's also been quite limiting. And it's also been very difficult to be a being of light in a human body. And that's also something that, you know, for some of you, I felt like the limitations has been holding you back. Like, you know, the limitations of the human body has been quite frustrating for you. This new activation ensures that you really are connecting with the light being that is you in a brand new way. And that's part of this activation. So you're working from the activated sense of light now, not from the human, not from the sense of being human. So this is an incredible thing. Being able to see humanity developing in a profound way from the sort of hawk-like existence of looking down from the perspective of beauty and light being is what will keep you holding the space for you in the collective right now. I'm going to finish off with one of these. It seems appropriate. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous time. Please stay in that joy. Stay grounded. Again, use your voice to be out there and connect with your fellow starseeds. The energy will find each other. It's really about just sitting with your energy and seeing what comes back. It's really not about pushing out into the world anymore. It's just about holding the space. But holding the space again from the activated light, not from the human existence. It's really a beautiful time. Star bathing, light body, yes, crystal grid, transmission activation. That's a beautiful, beautiful card to end our beautiful reading here. Light body, remember, crystal grid, transmission activation. That's it. From the light body, from the light sense of self, holding that space for each other and holding that space for the rest of the world. There are so many starseeds here. There are more starseeds in this generation than there ever has been on Earth before. So we are here for this reason. So all we have to do is hold the light. Everybody else is pulling in that light source, and they are also working, and they are also transcending, and they are also transmitting, and they're also being activated. So this is finally where we see the mission and we start to see the payoff. We start to see why we went through all of those years or whatever it is that we did to prepare for this one moment. This is the moment where we get to see that glory and that beauty and that renewed sense of hope and peace, knowing that it can happen. This is a gorgeous time. Please hold space for each other. Please hold space for yourself. Remember, don't afraid to be vulnerable. We're all here for each other. That emotionality is the key to your success, to reaching out. No longer will we be silent. This is a time for ultimate connection on every level, knowing that we are exactly the same person, the same entity. No one is above, no one is below. And that's why we need to look after each and every one of us, because if we don't, then we're failing our own soul. So wonderful starseeds. I hope you got a little bit of hope and joy and at least a little bit of support. You are not alone. There is so much love and light within you, so much love and light in the world. And I want to take and also from Palladians too, we want to take just a little bit of time to thank you and send you so much unconditional love. There is not a moment that goes by where we don't realize what you've been through. I'm getting a little weepy now. That you've been through. I know you've been through hell and back. We know that you've been through hell and back, but you've always held space. And we want to say that you are divinely loved. Hold that space and keep hold of who you are. And keep hold of the earth, because this is just the beginning. It's only going to get better. So stand your ground. Know that you are unconditionally loved, and that will never change. And you hold your light, starseeds. You are love. You are love. You are here to transmit love and transmute love. And that's exactly what you're doing. So just be you. Until we meet again, starseeds, you take care. Bye-bye.